Hi, in this video, I'm going to give you everything you need to know about living in Parker, Colorado. In fact, I'm going to have you jump on my computer with me. We're going to do a map tour so you can see the proximity that Parker, Colorado has to everything in Denver, the airport, the mountains, downtown Denver. And if you stick around to the end, I'll even touch on some current market statistics as well as some census information, give you a better feel what Parker's all about. This is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Denver, Colorado, today specifically about living in Parker, Colorado, tap the bell or accept notifications down below, and that way you can be the first to know about everything there is to know about living in Denver, Colorado. My name is Michelle Wise, and my partner Cheryl Crown, who's not here today, we are living in Denver, Colorado. We get phone calls, emails, texts every day from people just like you looking to make the move to Denver, Colorado. We absolutely love it. Whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. All the information's in the description below so that you can be the first to know and we can reach out to you about everything there is to know about living in Denver, Colorado. We are realtors and we can definitely help you with that. But our main purpose of this video here today is just to give you a broad understanding of Parker, Colorado and the surrounding areas. So if you're ready, let's jump into it. I am going to share my screen with you here so that way you can see the map of Parker, Colorado. And on here, you'll see that Parker is this section right down here, if I span out a little bit. So here's Parker right here in this little line of red. And on here, if I can get my map tool to work, you'll see that this particular spot right here is Parker. Now, this entire area on the map all the way around is Metro Denver. So Parker definitely falls into that Metro Denver map boundaries. And it even actually goes a little further south into Castle Rock and a little further north that's not showing on my map here. But when Parker first started out, it was nothing but a small forest community way out on the plains when Denver was smaller. But as Denver has expanded and cities have grown, it's actually spread out through urban sprawl. And now Parker is considered a southeast suburb of Denver, Colorado. We're about 20 miles from the actual city center of Denver. So if you're looking at this map, this here is Parker. There is a toll road here you can jump on and take this highway straight up to downtown Denver, which is right here. The other nice proximity is Denver International Airport is right here. So if you're in Parker, you just jump on this toll road and take it out to the airport. It takes about 20 minutes to get to the airport. That section of E470, because it is a toll, carries a decent amount of traffic, but we don't tend to get traffic backlogs on that part of the highway. Now, if you're going into downtown Denver over here, because that is on I-25, our main thoroughfare north and south through the city, you will hit traffic. And so depending on the day, even though it's 20 miles, you could get downtown in 20, 30 minutes, or if you're snuck in some traffic snags, then it could take you, 45 minutes to an hour to get into the downtown Denver city. So one nice thing that Denver does have is we have let me clear this off here. We do have another section that is a business center in a sense. So if I zoom in here, you can see right about here along this I-25 corridor is another section called the Denver Tech Center. And that is a huge business center, basically, a little mini downtown, if you will, for a lot of businesses. So if you're working in that part of, we call it DTC, Denver Tech Center, Parker has a great proximity to get there. You can just jump on the highway, any of these, if you don't want to pay the toll for this section of 470, you can jump on these side streets that now take you out of Parker to connect with I-25 here and take it up to the Denver Tech Center. So that's another great option in order to have that business center feel. You don't have to go all the way downtown. So that is a positive. To get to the Tech Center with traffic's probably about a 20-minute jaunt. But again, traffic flows I-25 through there is 4 or 5 lanes each direction, but we are in a big city, so we do get some traffic snags. When you also look at this, you'll notice Parker's proximity here to a lot of different things. This over here, this green section, where the map kind of turns green is essentially the start of our foothills. So the start of the mountains. And so when you look at that and you're here in Parker, the easiest way to get there is just jump on 470. Now I mentioned again, 470 is a toll road, but it only goes to I-25 on this direction. So if you take the other arterial roadways out of Parker, you can get to I-25 without paying any tolls. Jump on 470 here, which is the untolled portion of it, and easily get over to the mountains and up to skiing, hiking, lakes, boating, snowshoeing, whatever you want to do. But 285, this highway here, 285 takes you up to the mountains. You can also keep going on I-70 to get to, keep going on 470 to get to I-70 that takes you up. That's the way to get to most of the ski resorts. So the other nice thing that you can see here on the map is, let me just scroll up a little bit. We have a lot of outdoor activities in Colorado. We're kind of known for that, but Parker's location is fabulous when you look at the fact if you'd like to be on the lake, if you like to boat, paddleboard, water ski, things of that nature. We have quite a few bodies of water within probably 15-20 minutes of Parker. So this right here is Cherry Creek State Park. It's a reservoir, and they are open to motorized boats, paddleboards, they have swim beaches, all of that. Same with over here to Chatfield State Park. You'll have the same motorized boating opportunities there, paddleboards. They actually have a paddleboard lake, which is really fun, that really you can pretty much just paddle boat or kayak on. And then over here, we have Aurora Reservoir, which they don't allow any type of motorized boats on, but you can paddleboard, swim, fish, anything like that. And then one little thing we have right here is called Reuter Hess Reservoir. So that's a relatively newly created reservoir that a lot of entities went in to build to preserve water in Colorado. But it's just recently opened. It's been in the building works for years and years. And it recently just opened to the public. So you can actually get in there and do some paddleboarding, walking around, hiking in those areas. So that's really close. I mean, that basically is in Parker. You'll see that it's not in this red outlined line of Parker, but it is essentially within the town of Parker, unincorporated. So that's a great new addition to a lot of the residents in Parker. And on those same lines here, you'll kind of see that when I said that it's really, people would consider it in Parker, but it's not really in the town. Parker itself is only about 20 some square miles in area, but there's a lot of Parker that has a Parker mailing address that is not in the incorporated part of town. So this area over here, like I said, where the lake is, this has a bunch of housing areas back over here that follows this road all the way out to the highway. This section right here that's called Stonegate is actually one of the well-known neighborhoods in Parker. Very, very desirable, but it's an unincorporated Parker. And then you move down here to the south and the east. The Pinery is an amazing little neighborhood. It's actually not little, it's quite large, but you can see from, I don't know if you can tell from the topography of the map here, the elevation changes. So this is a very hilly area of Parker. And so it almost has that mountain feel. There's a lot of, it's an older neighborhood. So you have a variety of homes in this kind of central portion and northern portion of the Pinery are going to be the smaller size homes, anywhere from probably 500,000 up to $1 million. And then there's this part over here that's called the Timbers, and that is definitely one of the luxury areas of Parker. Houses there are probably anywhere from $1.5 million up to multi-million-dollar homes. So the nice thing about these other unincorporated areas of Parker is that you're not paying incorporated city tax. So taxes are actually lower. And even when you have like furniture delivered to some of these neighborhoods that are in unincorporated Parker, you'll find that the tax you pay, because typically the tax is paid on where the item is being delivered, is going to be a little bit less than within this town of Parker, because they have, incorporated tax fees and so forth. One other area that I wanted to touch on that is a great neighborhood is down over here. So here we have the Pinery, like I mentioned before, and then over in this area, we have another area of town that is called Pradera, and that's another luxury area of Parker. They have their own golf course. So you can see here the Pinery does as well. The Pinery has its own Pinery Country Club and golf course. I think it's two 18-hole courses, but I'm not entirely sure on that. I'm not a golfer. But then Pradera is also part of that. So here's the club at Pradera, and you can see too that that's a very well-known country club with a golf course. And again, high-end dollar homes in this area. You're going to be easily probably over $1 million in most of this little neighborhood. And it also has some nice access over out here to get you to Castle Rock, which is a town south of Parker. It's quite a large town. It's a growing suburb of Denver. And so you have some back roads here that you can get out to those areas. There's also another golf club in Parker here called the Colorado Golf Club. It has very high-end luxury homes. They're new. The Pradera is a little older than that, and then a lot of the homes in the Timbers, some of them date back, the big luxury homes date back quite a ways, but some of them are newer there too. So you can see that that's a nice looking house right there. But Colorado Golf Club is a championship course. They actually had the women's LPGA there tournament a couple years ago. Big homes, big sprawling lots. It's really beautiful with great mountain views. I don't know if you can see in the background there a little bit of those mountain views. We do have a couple other golf courses. We have one in Canterbury right here. It's called Black Bear Country Club. It's more of a public golf course. It's changed a couple times, so I'm actually not certain if you have to have a membership there or not anymore. But so if you're a golfer and you love that, there's ample choices here in Parker for you to kind of see what those look like and check those out and get your hand in at some golf. And then there's surrounding golf courses across, in other suburbs real close as well. Again, Coloradans love being outdoors and love being part of just anything outdoor activity as far as that goes. We do have a Cherry Creek Trail as well, which if you look at this little blue line right here, that runs all the way from down south from Castlewood Canyon all the way up to Denver to the Cherry Creek Reservoir, which is what I showed you before as one of the boating reservoirs that you can boat on and so forth. So there's trails all along there. You can definitely go for miles on that trail. The other thing you'll see here, we have a couple equestrian parks, Salisbury Equestrian Park. So if you're into horses, there was another one. It's not technically Parker, but it's out this direction, Gamble Oaks Equestrian. There's one down here in the Pinery, an equestrian center it's right by the Timbers. So there's a lot of, if you're into horses, and a lot of the houses out here in this unincorporated portion of Parker, which spans, probably, I don't count my margins here exactly, but, anywhere in the Pinery, out east, away over here, kind of in this direction. In this whole section right here, you'll find a lot of acreage homes that do allow for horses, sheep, chickens, things like that. So predominantly Parker is mostly neighborhood living, but it does have its fair share of some acreage homes that would allow you to have a little bit of land or livestock, horses, that type of thing. It's actually a big horsing community. So that's kind of the surrounding area. Now, if we zoom into Parker, let me just type it back in so it gives me the city boundaries. You will see here that it goes here. Now one other thing I didn't mention, if you're into we don't have any malls in Parker, but there are two that are relatively nearby. So again, here's Parker. Here is your 470 or the arterial roads that take you out of Parker over here to I-25. Right here is Park Meadows. That's a mall, huge mall, shopping area, all kinds of restaurants, all kinds of every store you could possibly imagine, a very retail area. And then you can also head a little southeast and you can get to Southlands Mall, which is an outdoor mall setting that again has all kinds of retail, shops, restaurants, movie theaters, etc. So while Parker doesn't have those, they're within short 10-minute drives either direction, depending on where you are in Parker, 10, 15 minutes to get over to this mall or this mall, huge retail areas. So that said, we do have our own set of retail here, and you'll find most of it along this road right here, which is kind of the main arterial, Parker Road, that takes you north and south through Parker, all the way up to Aurora to the north, Franktown to the south, and then our main arterial road heading east and west. We've had a few more added in the last few years, but Lincoln, which is right here, takes you through the town and out to I-25 over here. This is I-25 up here. So those are the two main arterials, east, west, and north, south. But along these two roads is mostly where all of our retail shops, restaurants, etc. are. You'll see that we have a Costco. Let me expand out just a little bit. We have a Costco up here by Boondocks. We have a Trader Joe's up there. Again, that's on that Parker Road arterial way. But yeah, we have Costco, Boondocks, which is an entertainment, a fun bowling alley, bumper water boats in the winter, laser tag, arcade. Costco, y'all know what Costco is, Sam's Club competitor. And we also we just got a Trader Joe's, so that's big news in Parker. There's a grocery stores, King Soopers, which is Kroger, and all kinds of restaurants up along here. And then all down this section of Parker Road, you'll see that there's a variety of activities and retail. There's the Sky Zone trampoline park if you want to go jump on a trampoline. There's Home Depot, Texas Roadhouse, restaurants, coffee shops, all that type of fun things. And then if you head down Lincoln, which is this road here, you'll see that there's more grocery stores, more restaurants. Pretty much those are, Lowe's, and we have Parker Rec Center right here, which is they have, the workout, the gyms, the pool. They have a lazy river, so they have all kinds of things there for exercise, and it's right on that Cherry Creek Trail. This right here, you'll see Cherry Creek is the trail that takes you all the way up into Aurora and Cherry Creek Reservoir. So it's a great location. And then the town of Parker also has this Parker Field House right here, which has indoor track, indoor sports fields, workout facility, classes, youth sports. There's a big tennis center next to that that's privately owned. It's not part of the town, but this, you can see again, we have all kinds of outdoor activities that coincide with just the Colorado typical outdoor lifestyle. Let me show you one of the best things about Parker here. Well, I've got you pulled up. This is Main Street. So here's Parker Road, that north-south artery, and then this is Main Street. So Main Street is one of the definite charms of Parker, and it has all kinds of restaurants in it. It's a historic old town feel, and restaurants, bars, you can see this whole kind of yellow section here is all a retail type of thing. But this town right here, this part of town right here is it's actually the old town, the old historic town. So there's buildings in there from, I don't know, probably the 1800s that have been, refurbished and are now a coffee shop or a restaurant, a boutique. There's a lot to do down there. This is where we have all of our street fairs and farmers market, art in the park here. This is kind of the town park right here. There's a pool that has, if I get to pull up, that has it's owned by the town rec, and they have slides and water activities. So this is just a really fun section right here. And they've actually expanded in the last couple years to the west to include a section down here that's also all retail with walkability and cute restaurants and bars, and there's a movie theater right here, and activities. You can see yoga and nails, and so this is kind of our big little town right here, if you want to call it that. There's an old coffee shop right there. I don't know if you can see in that picture, but it's been around for a long time, locally owned. So a lot of small town, not chain, private owned small businesses are in this area right here. So it's definitely one of the favorite places. In the summer, they'll do movies in the park, arts in the park, all kinds of activities. And then right here, just a little further to the east, is our Parker Arts and Cultural Center. They do events, plays, music performances. Across the street from that, right over here, is our library, and relatively brand new library. They just probably built it within the last 8 or 10 years. Nice facility. There's ice skating over here in the winter at Discovery Park. In the summer at Discovery Park, they do concerts in the park, and those are packed. They are so much fun. So you really get a lot of activities living in Parker, and this little town that's no longer a little town, but does a lot to try to keep that small town feel. So that's kind of Parker in a nutshell. Gives you an idea, hopefully, of where it is in proximity to other things. Let me jump over here to some of the statistics for Parker. So this is from the United States Census Bureau, and for some reason they call it Parkertown, Colorado. Never heard of it called Parkertown, but this is the U.S. Census Bureau, so for some reason they do that. But you can see that Parker, this was in 2020, right over here, has, they're stating that they have 58,500 people in 2020. More recent numbers I've heard lately, as of 2023, is that we're pushing closer to 65,000 people now. And keep in mind that, because remember I told you the town itself is just the incorporated part, but the actual address, zip codes of Parker expands further out on that. That number is only the incorporated part. So there's a lot of people. I couldn't find any statistics on the actual outskirts of Parker, but it's a good sized little town. You'll see that 73% of the town is employed. It's definitely a higher end socioeconomic town. The average income for a person living in Parker is $120,000. That was in 2021. And educated, highly educated, 52% have a bachelor's degree. So it's family oriented. 20,000 households of this 58 have kids. I'd say that probably seems a little low. That was a couple years ago too. So, but it's a great diverse town as far as families, seniors, young working individuals that don't yet have kids, young marrieds, or just singles in general. But there's something for everybody here in this town, that's for sure. So that is that. And then what does that mean to the housing here? So in Parker, let me pull this up, a real quick snapshot. You'll see that the average home price is $660,000. So, it's definitely not a cheap place to live, but when you look at the whole Denver metro area as a whole, it's probably a little lower. You can get a little more house for your money in Parker than you can if you want to be like in the actual city of Denver. Kind of locations out on the outskirts a little bit. So it does give you a little bit of more bang for your buck in that sense. The average square foot price is $224. And then this is an interesting thing here. Let me show you this. Right here, the smallest size house is a 1-bed, 1-bath for 773 square feet. It's priced at $287,000. The largest home right now in Parker, again, this is in the city limits of Parker, I do believe, is 10,000 square foot with price point of over $3 million. So it does show you that there's something for everybody here in this town of Parker. And so, again, with the neighborhoods, price diversity in the neighborhoods, if your budget's that $300,000, we can definitely help you find something. Or if your budget's that, $3 million, we can help you find something. So again, nice variety, and it's just got a little bit of something for everybody here. Right, this right here, it says that it is This is an interesting statistic because it says that the sale to list price is about 99%. So that would tell me that it's kind of closer to a seller's market. But according to realtor.com, it does say that it's a buyer's market here, right here. It says it's a buyer's market in December of 2022. So we did see a stall, just like everywhere in the market when interest rates went up. And we're starting to see more inventory coming on the market, although that 55 days on the market seems a little long, in my opinion, if the house is priced right and is, in great condition and well cared for. We're seeing things still selling, some of those, in 10 days or a week or so. So just, again, keep in mind that that's just the average, a median. So great schools in Parker, top Douglas County schools, lots of walkability to neighborhood schools within all of these neighborhoods in Parker. And yeah, that's it. So, if you're thinking about moving or want to know anything further about living in Denver or living in Parker, please reach out to us. We are realtors, but again, this is just to help you get the best feel for the town of Parker. So living in Denver, Colorado is a great place to be. Check out our next videos, and we hope to see you next time.